Assalamu alaikum. I am Ahmed Ramadan from Muslim Network TV, and this is GTA Muslims Today. The Canada Israel Charity Pipeline is a significant way where money is flowing from Canada to Israel to fund illegal occupation in the West Bank and the Israeli genocide in Gaza. We spoke to Dr. Miles Howe about this often overlooked issue and how much money is actually flowing from Canada to Israel.
So, on a value, financially, we're talking about anywhere between 250 to 400 million dollars per year leaves Canada for Israel via Canadian charities. Much of this arrives in the hands of organizations that we might understand and have a common understanding of what constitutes a charitable purpose within Israel. You are permitted as a Canadian charity to move money overseas into the hands of what we call an intermediary. Where this becomes problematic, specifically in the case of Canada to Israel, we want to mention that Israel is typically Canada's number one charity recipient on the international sphere, which in itself is rather curious, given that generally Israel promotes itself as having a GDP per person as on par or above Canada. But to bring it back, where it becomes problematic is when these donations wind up in the hands of illegal settlements and or are financially or materially benefiting the Israeli offensive forces. This is not a singular occurrence and speaks rather highly, I would say, to the permeation of Zionist ideology, both into the common understanding of what is charity, where the borders of greater Israel, quote unquote, begin and end, and potentially the influence of that ideology at the level of the regulatory enforcement at the CRA. And so in any given year, you have millions, if not tens of millions of dollars leaving Canada, and this is taxpayer subsidized money.
And while there are laws on the books when it comes to charities, and often Muslim charities are under extreme scrutiny from the CRA, there tends to be a lack of desire to work on this when it comes to this.
You have a track record of the CRA, credible accusations of entertaining an anti-Muslim bias in terms of its regulatory enforcement, where cases have surfaced that you don't need to do very much if you're working for a mosque, etc., or if you're a Muslim-identified charity, to have the CRA come breathing down your neck. But in the case of a Zionist-identified charity, it appears that you don't really even need to do the baseline and proper reporting of where this money goes on the international sphere. That's another problem we can talk about. And you can overtly proclaim that the money is heading into the illegal settlements without any fear of or reality of any regulatory repercussions. So it's not a matter of some kind of witty accounting or sly loopholes. This is just overtly proclaiming that this is where the money is going. And the CRA, the RCMP, whomever you might turn to deal with this, and again, it is an indictable offense under the criminal code, is doing nothing.
While this might not be the flashiest issue, Dr. Howe explains why the flow of money from Canada to Israel through these charities is so critical, especially during this genocide.
Even though this is not necessarily as cut and dried an issue as, let's say, an arms embargo or ensuring that families in Gaza are safe and all right. I think that charity, when you look at it from a financial standpoint, is probably the single greatest contributor that Canada moves financially into Israel on a yearly basis. So if an arms embargo, if arms sales are worth $40 million roughly per year from Canada, and of course, no arms should be moving to Israel. Of course, all families of displaced Gazans at this moment should find safe haven. But the movement of money within the charitable sphere, you're looking at about 10 times that amount. And this is an unregulated sector. And this is a sector which overtly, if I can find this money moving, I have time to do this. I figured out a little bit how to navigate my way through access to information requests, sending them to the CRA, etc. But this is not rocket science. And so we need to become more aware of this and stand for less of this within the Canadian sphere.
And this is Ahmed Ramadan for Muslim Network TV and GTA Muslims Today. Please like, share, and let us know your comments below. And stay tuned for more. Assalamu alaikum.